I'm honored to have our next guest be Meghan Gill. Meghan comes to us, pardon me, she serves the MongoDB community at 10Gen, and she's responsible for marketing there. And she's giving a talk tomorrow, Thursday at 11:30 a.m., titled Lessons Learned Seeding a Web-Scale Open Source Community. Welcome, Meghan.
Hi, thanks for having me, Gretchen.
We're glad you're here. So when I've been kind of researching you and thinking about it, it seemed to me that your community, the MongoDB community, is kind of a challenging community. And I'm wondering, A, if that's true, and B, if it's true, what makes your community particularly challenging?
I would say for any open source project, the challenge is that your community is everywhere. It's all over the world. We don't know who's downloading and using MongoDB usually, and we find them all over the place. They're in our user forums, they're at our conferences and our meetups, they're on Stack Overflow, they're on Twitter. So it's just a lot of different channels to manage as a community organizer.
Right, because it's a unmanageable community, basically.
Yeah, we try to find order in the chaos,
sure.
But it's definitely one of the challenges of being a community manager for an open source project.
How did you come to be a community manager? Was this something you trained for? It
really wasn't. I joined 10Gen, which is the company that makes MongoDB. When we were pretty early on, I was the first sort of non-engineering employee, and more and more I got involved in marketing in the community, and it really excites me, and it's something that's really interesting. I love to see what people are doing with MongoDB. That's really exciting to me.
That's great. So you grew into the job.
Pretty much.
Now the job is growing with you.
Exactly.
Very fun. So that means that you had to start from scratch, basically. So what tactics have you used to help to grow the community or make it feel more inclusive as a community?
So for us, our strategy has been very grassroots. So we really focus on developers and getting them to learn about MongoDB. We spend a lot of time doing face-to-face interaction. We've organized dozens of MongoDB days in a bunch of different cities. And we really come to the community with these MongoDB days, and we work with local MongoDB users so that they can share their story and sort of seed that local community. And then after we do a MongoDB day in a certain city, that often turns into a local MongoDB user group, and we help support those user groups logistically, connecting with speakers. We'll help cover their meetup.com fees, and then in return we just ask that they meet consistently, they meet regularly, and that they share the resources from their user group with the rest of the community, so their slides, their notes, things like that.
Wow, that's great. And really one person at a time, because you guys are very, very high touch.
Yeah, we are, and I think that makes a difference because we're in this virtual world. Everyone's on Twitter, everyone's on blogs, everyone's in user forums. It makes a big difference to have met somebody face to face.
Yeah, it really does. It does. Well, as you grew this job for yourself that had never existed before at 10Gen, what mistake, it's so easy to make mistakes, particularly with social media.
Right.
Can you think of something that was like,
we all make missteps with social media or with local user groups and things like that. We're doing a lot of sort of on the ground outreach, so we'll do an event in the city and we'll blast all the user groups in the area, and there's a certain tone and certain way you have to do that. So a lot of times, rather than just sending out the spammy email and upsetting everyone, I'll just approach the organizer of the local Ruby user group and say, hey, we're doing an event in your city, would you be okay with us sending out a message, or do you want to raffle off a free pass? Give them something so that they're willing to help me, I'll help them.
Right. Well, coming from a non-geek background, what did you study at university?
I actually did international relations.
Oh goodness, well that's kind of perfect.
Yeah, but I think that there are a lot of other things. I was at Community Leadership Summit this weekend, and I met a lot of people from so many different backgrounds, and it's really exciting to see this renaissance of community, and there's this new role and position of community management.
Right.
And a lot of the things that I did in college and before I joined 10Gen were really community focused, and it seemed to be a good segue. Right,
perfect for that. What keeps you involved? I mean, what makes it fun?
What makes it fun for me is meeting people and seeing what they're doing with MongoDB, and the excitement. I mean, I'm at our booth at OSCON. You should stop by the way.
Good.
And people come up to us and they're like, thank you so much for MongoDB. I was able to build this really cool thing with MongoDB. I have this great analytics engine, or it sped up our product so much because we're able to use Mongo. That's really exciting to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any? I thought we could just ask you final question. Is just what kind of tip or trick? Was there something that's sort of surefire? You guaranteed if you post this on Facebook, something good's going to happen, or
if you know what that is, definitely tell me.
Oh,
because,
okay.
Well, I think in terms of marketing to geeks, the more geeky you can be and the more technical content, at our events. I mean, this is the first event that I'm ever speaking at because I know people want to hear from the engineers making MongoDB. They don't want to hear from the marketing people.
Sure.
So if you keep it focused on the technology, people will come to you. But I am excited to talk about this tomorrow because I think it's really relevant to the other vendors and the other people that are here who are building community around open source.
I know we do a lot of it at O'Reilly. I mean, we're really devoted to it too.
Yeah, that's one of the groups that I look to is Marcy and John who run the user group program. They kind of inspired me. They said, look at how they're supporting all these local user groups.
Right.
Is there a way we can do that with MongoDB? Can we support all the different groups that are interested in organizing around Mongo in various different cities?
Right.
So O'Reilly does it really well.
That's good to hear. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.